Does anybody ever get so incredibly tired of life that I don't know, that it's just, I shouldn't say tired of life, that's not the right words, but just so tired of doing life that you just are at a point where you're just at a complete mental breakdown. I get these periods where in my life moments that just triggers this ultimate breakdown for myself, where I just literally, I'm like, why am I here? Like, why, God? What is my purpose? And I feel like I'm gonna ugly cry, and so people are gonna probably wonder what in the world is going on with that person. Is she okay? I'll tell you the reason why this all happened and why I'm so upset in a minute, but it's like something that's a little off topic, and then I realized I'm just gonna share the rawness because this was being a single mom trying to provide for her kids. It's so hard. It's so incredibly hard. And and as we talk right now, I think somebody is like injecting himself. Like, addiction is just so raw to me, but anyway, that's total side note. Bottom line, I just feel like there are times when life is so incredibly hard, and it's even harder when you're a single mom. And granted, there are probably so many other things that are a lot harder than what I'm even going through right now, but in the moment, being a single mom and providing for the family and being the sole income provider, navigating, I could really use a break tonight. And Daniel has this wonderful speech meet, which I am incredibly thankful for, but I'm exhausted. I'm emotionally drained. I'm exhausted in general, but then I'm completely emotionally drained after what happened today, which again, I'll get into, but how did I get here in this state? And it's really hard. I don't know how, drop in the comments how you manage with it, but I keep just saying it's so hard. It's such incredible fog. So I'm tired because I didn't get a ton of sleep, but then I'm emotionally drained because of a meeting I just had that was way uncharacteristic. And then on top of it, my allergies are bad, so I took double my allergy medicine, which makes me really out of it, where I'm gonna fog, kind of in a daze, and my eyes are puffy, and anyway, all sorts of things. But it's worse. It's actually worse to be in that constant sneezing and have my nose running, because it's incredibly hard to get out of that situation. And I'm just a whole hot mess when my allergies get that bad. So I took something this morning, and then I took something this afternoon, Zyrtec. But anyway, I don't understand the fine line between saying something and then saying something that you might offend somebody, and which is not my intention, and then but I obviously did, and I just feel really bad. But then I also think, is it gonna get reported, and then am I going to get in trouble for it? I apologized, but I'm in a meeting today, and there was a conversation about a trip that the team had done that I did not attend, and the first comment out of the person's mouth, now this is actually I'm not even going to say who it was, or not who it was, but the type of person. The first thing out of this person's mouth, we're going to call them person A. So the first thing person A said was, and person A is new to our team, and person A said, wow, what I didn't realize is how young the team is, the team that we're on. I'm thinking, do you consider me young? Is that a bad thing? And granted, I've been in corporate life for a very long time now. I have definitely had, anyway, I've had these comments where people have definitely mentioned my age when I was, especially in my 20s and 30s. Oh, you're just young, you don't know. And anyway, I'm in my mid 40s now, but I still, at times, people don't think I'm that young, or I'm that old, not that it's old, but that I am that age. So anyway, they mentioned that the team is so young. And I'm thinking, what does that have to do with anything, right? I've had people work for me that are younger that are fantastic. I have people who work for me who are older who are fantastic. I've had people in the middle, all above, fantastic, and vice versa. So then the meeting continues. We're talking about something that got pushed up to management, and a request came down that I complete a project, but I'm not going to get any resources to complete the project, but there was already a promise. And so person A said, it shouldn't matter what the director says. Now granted, I've been a COO and I've been a director and I've managed teams. Anyway, this person said it shouldn't matter what these people say, because all they do is talk, and they're not even going to be with the company that much longer. I give them 6 months and then they're out of the company. Nobody wants to work for them. They're not very nice. They just say what they can to get us to do something, and they use escalation as a threat. And I'm thinking, well, it's already been escalated, right? I'm really confused what you're talking about. It's not my personality is, you're not going to tell me to do something and I'm going to jump into it. Yes, I've done that in the past, and I've made a very bad mistake doing it, and I continue to make mistakes, but this is definitely not one of them. And then the person A decided to try to explain how the planning process goes, etc., and which I'm fully aware of. I've been in the team for a very long time, so I'm fully aware of this process, fully aware of how it goes. And then the person proceeds to ask me questions about items at our facilities. I'm trying to be super vague. Anyway, and I said, this is what I think that item is. And the person said, no, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. That's not what it is. I'm like, really? That's how I was trained. Granted, I've worked with this person for a while. The person just now joined our actual team. But in the broader organization, this person has been in the organization. And we have had regular conversations. So anyway, we're in this conversation, and I'm thinking, where in the world is this going? And I'm getting frustrated, which I should not get frustrated, but in the moment I'm getting frustrated because I'm thinking, why are you questioning my decision to push back? So then the continued guidance was, obviously you don't understand what this is. And I'm really surprised because the team members don't understand what they are doing or what projects they're working on. They don't understand the project process. And I'm thinking, again, okay, I agree with you, but it's your team and you just joined this team last week and you're already making a lot of assumptions. And then they said, I'm trying to think of how it came out, but anyway, these are our main projects that have priorities, these 3 items. And I said, I agree with you, those are priorities. However, there are additional products that add value where we need to have priorities on those. And I said, I'm really done trying to prove why these products add value, because it's directly cost savings, which affects the P&L statement, and we're talking multi-million. And so I'm done having this, like, talking about it. And I said that what I need support from my manager or whoever it is to have this conversation with this director. And if priorities have changed, then yes, I can deliver the news to the director, but this is what's going to happen. So it's going to create churn, right? So what's going to happen, I have the meeting with the director, I tell the director, and then what he will do is he will go and tell either his director and or VP. And then the other thing is he will come back and it will eventually get back to me, and then we'll have to have another meeting. Why not rip the Band-Aid off and let's just provide him with A, B, and C right away versus waiting for him to escalate? That was my thought process. And then I was told by person A, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And of course, me and my mouth is, and my emotions were, it does matter because I am a single mom and I am looking to get promoted and I need to support my family. And actually what I did say is, it might not matter to you, but it does matter to me because I'm trying to get promoted. I'm a single mom. And then person A said, that was extremely inappropriate. You're acting as if what I do doesn't have value, that I don't want to get up to that next level. And I immediately apologized and said, being a single mom, you shouldn't talk about that. Which this person, I have had numerous conversations about very open about my life, not obviously the nitty gritty, but people ask why I have moved so much. And I let them know because I did not make the decision to move. I had to move for work. So I've been very transparent about that. And people are obviously curious. Why is it just the children and I, etc.? Maybe I need to not share that information. Maybe I just need to shut my mouth. So I mentioned that it might not matter to you, but it matters to me. And that's when person A said, I'm very uncomfortable. You shouldn't say that just because it's not important to you, or just because I'm providing feedback doesn't mean it's not important to me. You can't tell me how I feel, which I agree, 100% agree. I should not say that. And so, I'm so sorry. So anyway, I agreed. I apologized profusely. I apologize. You're right. It is unprofessional. I will not mention it again. I will not have a conversation about it, etc. Then I just sat there and my heart sank because right now within our team, and it's more the larger organization, they are doing a lot of investigations with regards to what is going on within our organization. And I'm not even going to discuss about why, because it's hearsay. So my first instinct goes, right, fight or flight. My first instinct goes to, he's probably going to report this, because as soon as you say there's something uncomfortable, I bet you he'll probably report it, and then I'm going to have to speak to it. So I'm a whole mess. And then he keeps talking. I, of course, start crying. Not the ugly cry. Not the ugly cry like my other video, but just the cry. I start crying. trying not to. And it was so incredibly difficult just to sit in that meeting and we just kept talking about the same thing over and over. It was a very uncomfortable and very unique situation, because then we sat there and just had a regular conversation as if nobody else had done anything. So that was a little bit disheartening, only from the standpoint of, that was really weird. Bottom line is that when I'm in a meeting and when I say, you might not care, but I care because I'm a single mom with kids and I want to get a promotion, I do agree. I shouldn't have said, you might not care, but I care. I am aware of that. However, is it also okay in a meeting, and I'm not pointing fingers, so I'm not saying because you did this, it was okay for me to do this. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, though, is that in the meeting, I was very uncomfortable, and I didn't speak up when he talked about the ages that are at the sites. I'm mixing up stories right now because I'm so tired. I'm going to have to focus on driving.